All right, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live, the post-game show. The Titans are 2-0 with us at Acme. 27-3, the final score. Only 3 second-half points, but that's all the Titans needed to ice that game away. On a beautiful day in Nashville, the Titans are 2-2 after a rough start on the road. Perfect at home. A lot to break down here on our Titan Game Day Live post-game show. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Jack Gentry, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Here at Acme on the rooftop, beautiful place to watch a Titans game in Nashville, downtown Nashville, home or away. I want to give a quick shout out to our friends Spirited Hive. They have $1 off their canned cocktails for all home games here at Acme, and also ranch water with bucket specials here at Acme during home games as well. Jack, we got a lot to talk about. A big-time dominant performance by the Tennessee Titans in all phases of the game, but the people watching the show got something to do first.
Yeah, absolutely. While y'all are filing in here with a huge win today, we know y'all want to talk about it. If you're watching on Facebook, I got to remind you to share the show. Share it to your Titans Facebook groups. Let's grow the conversation on Facebook so we get all of Titans Facebook, which can be a little agitated at times. We've got them happy today. We want to hear from all of you. So if you're on Facebook, share it to your Titans Facebook groups. If you're watching on YouTube, tap that bell icon at the top of your screen and make sure you have your A to Z Sports notifications turned on so you get an update every time A to Z Sports goes live. And finally, if you're watching via Twitch, text that Twitch link to your Titans text groups. We know y'all are talking about the Titans' big win over the Bengals today, so might as well all do that in here like one big family. But Austin, a dominant effort over at Nissan Stadium across the river today.
Yep, let's get it going officially. Welcome to Titan Game Day Live. Got to thank all of our great partners of our Titan Game Day Live shows. X Golf Nashville, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. You can find them at xgolfnashville.com. The Mint Gaming Hall, home of big jackpots and big fun, just 35 minutes north of Nashville at themintgaming.com. BetMGM, always use our bonus code ATOZ200 to turn a $10 moneyline wager into $200 in bonus bets instantly. The law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, wherever justice demands. Tennessee Family and Criminal Courts in 35 different Middle Tennessee counties. AmandaJGentry.com. Chim Chimney for all your chimney needs. Chim-Chimney.Inc.com. Adventure Science Center, explore and discover with your full family at adventuresci.org. And Jarett HVAC and Plumbing, keeping your facility comfortable and secure, one inspection at a time. Jack, this was a big deal to get a massive win and the monkey off of your back, not ever beating the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow as Mike Vrabel's tenure of Titans head coach, but just a dominant win in nearly every aspect. 27-3, and I'll take it even further, 27 unanswered points by the Tennessee Titans after the Bengals got a field goal on their opening drive. I'll let you kick it off with your action.
Yeah, it just felt like that opening drive was a little too easy for the Bengals. You know, soft coverage in the secondary, some easy layup throws for Joe Burrow to make. And, you know, with the Bengals scoring first, Titans fans have seen that movie before, right? They've seen that before. So for them to bounce back to kind of, like you said, get that monkey off the back and just prove to themselves that, hey, we can beat these guys. I think that's a huge edge moving forward. You never know when you might run into them again. They've started 1-3. With Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, anything is possible when it comes to their playoff hopes. But dominance, really a great word to describe this win. All three phases, pass rush was getting home. The Titans, for the most part, protected Tannehill. He was able to make some good decisions, and some big plays were happening all over the place for the Titans today.
It seems like 27 is the magic number for the Titans to win a game, because the last 3 times they've scored 27 points, they've won a game, and when they haven't, they've lost all those games. But 27-3 is the final score. As I mentioned, the 27 unanswered points. So you've got a dominant performance by the Titans defense, as equally as dominant as the Titans offense, who ran the football for 170 or more yards. Ryan Tannehill threw the ball for 240 yards in the air. Derrick Henry threw for 2 yards in the air, it being a touchdown. So, Jack, if I were to say, I guess, which was more surprising, holding Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense scoreless outside of the first drive of the game, or the Titans doing anything they wanted to do for the most part on offense?
It has to be offense for me, because, I mean, we were coming into this game talking 2 of the last 3 games. The Titans hadn't managed to score a touchdown on offense. We knew that they had it in there somewhere. We just wanted Tim Kelly to pull it out of them. And today, without one of their best weapons in Treylon Burks, the Titans were able to move the ball efficiently through the air, on the ground. Everything was working. We saw Josh Wiley emerge today, which was exciting. We saw NWI make a few big plays. Tajay Spears had a couple plays in the passing game. But once again, it's Chris Moore down the field. It's DeAndre Hopkins making catches along the boundary. When you involve everybody, this offense is so much better. And we saw that today. So the most surprising, we've seen the defense play well. It's whether or not this offense can do this multiple games in a row now that becomes the next step for them. But the biggest surprise has to be the offense's dominance.
Yeah, I thought I was expecting the Titans offense to be able to run the football against Cincinnati, but I don't think it was to this amount of running. But then I thought after that first drive, the Titans defense really got to settle in, because if you look at it, the overall stats, like Cincinnati wasn't able to move the ball. They barely got over 200 yards of total offense. But after that first drive, it was kind of locked down, because the Bengals had 72 yards on their opening drive of the game. And, they really didn't do much outside of having a drive go, 22 yards. Looks like 55 yards before they turned it over on downs there in the fourth quarter. That's their second longest drive that amounted to nothing. So I think the defense did a good job of playing in front. And I thought after playing soft and coverage on that opening drive, and allowing Joe Burrow to complete early passes, they locked down. I thought Christian Fulton, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Roger McCreary, and the corners played really well, and that allowed the front seven to really get after Burrow and disrupt what he wanted to do.
I'm happy for Christian Fulton and those guys, because boy, have they been hearing it over the last few weeks.
Sure.
Christian Fulton in a big time matchup with Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins left the game early, comes up really big, and also it just shows you how much better a secondary can look when a quarterback has to throw with Denico Autry, Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, Harold Landry bearing down on them, Trevis Gibson with a sack fumble. What diamond in the rough from Rand Carthon. That was a huge play in today's win. He was a UDFA cut by the Bears. He had experience. He had a bunch of sacks on his resume. Titans bring him in, use him situationally, and you see what he can do. The Titans always are deep at edge rusher, but when you speed things up for a quarterback as good as Joe Burrow, he's got to make quick decisions. He's got to make quick throws. They can't beat you over the top with a big play. It was just a symbiotic relationship we saw all day, whether it was the Titans secondary giving the pass rush extra time to get to the quarterback, or it was the Titans pass rush creating quick throws, quick decisions from Burrow, making the back end look good as well.
Yeah, as I also want to mention, like as Jacob and some others in the comments, Henry passed Earl Campbell today too. Earl Campbell is the second leading rusher for this Oilers/Titans franchise.
Pretty
so
cool.
Derrick, pretty big there. Derrick Henry got a ways to go. Over 1,000 more yards to go before Eddie George. You can pass him, because Eddie had, I believe, over 10,000 in his career.
Almost as big as an accomplishment, he passed Josh Dobbs in career touchdown passes for the Titans.
That's right.
Big number 3 today.
That's true.
Big number 3 for Derrick Henry.
That is true. Big
I
deal
love,
there.
by the way, Jeffrey Simmons being involved in that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I feel like they have another option there if they use that same group again.
Yeah. I also think, Tim Kelly has been really good. I understand the offensive line has really hurt the Titans and Tim Kelly and what he wants to do, but how many touchdowns has Tim Kelly drawn up where it was either missed by Tannehill against the Saints, or like today, he barely outthrew DeAndre Hopkins on the double pass, and some other plays that he's really drawn up well, including Derrick Henry's touchdown pass. Tim Kelly has already shown to be a massive upgrade over the previous coordinator. He should not be named, but still, I think Tim Kelly's just building on something. He's gotten creative. He's been explosive, and the Titans were able to put together those 3 touchdown drives in the second quarter that really ended the game.
I mean, we're really just a play away from talking about the Titans being 3-1 right now. Tannehill missed a couple throws on some great Tim Kelly designs in New Orleans, and now the Titans are 2-2. Can't complain about that. The next play is always the biggest play. The next game's always the biggest game, and Tim Kelly saved his best for today when the Titans really needed it. This is a group that really couldn't afford to lose this game like they looked last week.
No.
So to get off the mat, to respond the way that they did, to come out of the locker room and be able to deliver the first haymaker and really never look back from there is really, really impressive.
Yes, absolutely. A to Z Sports here live on our Amanda J. Gentry postgame show. Let's go ahead and get to our first segment here on the show. We always do this in our postgame shows. We ask you one word. What is one word to describe the Titans win today over the Cincinnati Bengals? 27-3 was the final score. Didn't even need the 3 points. Didn't even need the second touchdown after the Titans got up 10-3. But a big deal, a big win here for Tennessee. So what is one word to describe this Titans win over the Bengals, now 2-2. That's a massive deal for Tennessee moving forward. But first, let me tell you guys about our friend Amanda J. Gentry. No relations to you, Jack, right?
No,
yeah,
no.
people ask it. Gentry, Jack Gentry, Amanda Gentry. No, Amanda J. Gentry is one of the best when it comes to family and criminal defense lawyers in the Middle Tennessee area. Nobody outworks Amanda J. Gentry. How? Because I don't know how she does it, because she's going nonstop in 35 different counties across Middle Tennessee. She's practiced family law and criminal courts for a long time. Her and her team will help you out, especially when it comes to fathers' rights, protecting your fundamental constitutional rights to be a father to your children, and protecting all of your other constitutional rights. So know your rights and get help. Amanda J. Gentry and her team are there for you. For Tennessee family and criminal law across 35 Middle Tennessee counties here, AmandaJGentry.com. So, Jack, you to the comments here on the Amanda J. Gentry postgame show. One word to describe the Titans win. What are the people saying?
Jarrell starts off with a great word, vintage. That felt like a vintage Titans win. Getting back to the old days, 2019, 2020. Those days aren't that old, but
No.
back to when they were playing dominant football like this. Speaking of dominant, Wright says dominant. Steven says finally they beat Joe Burrow. 3-1 against the Titans now in his career. Derrick agrees. Complete is the word for him. Team victory. Kendrell, I love that. So many different players contributed today, and some unsung heroes of the day. We mentioned Travis Gibson. Chris Moore had a big play. Josh Wiley had an awesome day. Derrick Henry from Ryan Fields says Henry. Redemption from Jay. Efficient from Orlando. Explosive from Cooper. Grinder from Lou, man. It was an absolute grind. Jay says finally. Sean says bipolar. It's hard to get a read on this Titans offense. Encouraging from Dylan. Jamal says refreshing. Teamwork from Tanya. Titanic from Roe. Revenge from Mark. Great from Lametrius. Impressive from Setal. Billy says kick ass.
No.
It was an ass kicking.
It was an ass kicking for sure.
William says needed. Charlie, beautiful. Massive from Rodney. Needed from Michael. Adaptive says Jay. They're playing to the level of their competition today. They played way above that. Finally from Byron.
You ready for mine?
What do you got for me?
Reminiscent.
Reminiscent.
It reminds me of a game in Nissan Stadium a couple years ago, I think with the exact same final score. A quarterback that's being paid a bunch of money on a team with a lot of firepower comes into Nissan Stadium and gets shut down. The Titans whipped up on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in this stadium a couple of years ago and beat them 27-3. That's what today felt like. Today felt like the Titans whipping up on the Chiefs a couple of years ago, and how they did it. They ran the football, explosive plays when you need it in the passing game, efficiency, and just complimentary altogether. And so I'm going to say reminiscent, because that's what game I felt I was watching. You had guys that were making Joe Burrow's life miserable out there, really at all levels, because it wasn't just the front four guys. It wasn't just the names that we always talk about with Jeffrey Simmons and with Arden Key and Harold Landry and Danico Autry. How many times did Azeez Al-Shire mess something up with a blitz? How many times did Kevin Byard fly in there? Amani Hooker was playing behind the line of scrimmage a few times. And so it was Jack Gibbons had a pass breakdown, a back down at the line of scrimmage. So I'm going to say reminiscent of that Chiefs win, that we had over the Chiefs a couple years ago, because it was nobody expected this, right? The Titans looked as awful as they could have possibly looked a week ago, and the Bengals got off the schneid on Monday night, and you thought, okay, momentum building in Cincinnati, ship sinking in Tennessee, and it's completely opposite after 4 quarters of play today.
Yeah, no doubt. It proves that it's still hard to win on a short week in this league.
Yeah.
My word is respond. I thought it was a great response. It's a great response. It's a great testament to the Titans culture and what Mike Vrabel's built since he arrived here by being able to bounce back after just an ass kicking in Cleveland. And to have a beat down like this at home where you don't miss on any. There was one busted play. Outside of that, I think this game was nearly flawless. Tannehill's decision towards the end of the game. Would have liked to have that one back. We'll talk about that and what that does for his grade here in a little bit. But they responded today. This is what playoff teams do. They can take it on the chin, get back up the next week, and deliver a blow for themselves. They absolutely came with the right cross that knocked the Bengals out of the Nissan Stadium today, and it's going to send them up to Cincinnati, really reevaluating what their season looks like.
I mean, Jack, we're sitting here on the rooftop of Acme, which is a cool place, and the pedestrian bridges are right there. And Bengals fans, you could just see the orange specks walking across the bridge at halftime. Like the third quarter had barely started, and Bengals fans like, let's go do Broadway. This game's over. Joe's doing nothing. Bengals got bigger problems, and Broadway is currently their main focus.
That's going to be their temporary solution.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Let's see. Rhett says, same vibe as that KC game. Complete dominance over an elite contender. Bengals are a hell of a team that are just not firing on all cylinders right now. I did see another comment I wanted to get to as well. YouTuber says, let's go. I was so wrong about this game. The Titans are still alive. I predicted the Titans loss at 17-14. What was your prediction?
I said the Titans would win 19-16.
Yeah, so we were both, I mean, you were right in the result, but I was not expecting the Titans to be able to do what they did. So
we expected this to be kind of a dogfight.
Yeah, right? You expected it to be low scoring, very physical,
come down
field
to
goal
kick.
Type game. Yeah, maybe come down to the last drive as A.J. Brown looks like he catches a touchdown pass late in the fourth quarter to put the Eagles up.
You were having a good day. You didn't have to bring A.J. Brown.
No, I'm sorry. It was just right in front of me here at Acme. It was more of like a brain vomit as it just cycled through my system here.
Who needs NWI when you have Chris Moore down the field for 45?
Yeah, Chris Moore averaging 35 yards a catch this season, who's really stepped up. And NWI, a guy that you brought
I said NWI. I meant A.J. Brown.
Well, okay, yeah. But NWI is really having a great performance. NWI today continues to be a big-time performer. 5 catches for 51 yards, had the touchdown. He's catching the difficult physical passes and doing something nice because he's also his long was 22, but he's efficient. 5 catches on 6 targets.
And he had another big gainer wiped out because of an ineligible man downfield. It was frustrating. Austin and I were watching it, and we both agreed that was one of the better calls from Tim Kelly of the day. Unfortunately, it gets moved back and nullified. But, yeah, I mean, everybody had to go
running 10 yards down the field for whatever reason.
But look, today we're not talking about drop passes. Today we're not talking about failure to convert on third down. Or staying behind the chains, not taking advantage on first and second down. They did all of those things today.
What we're not talking about? William Jones says time to bench Burks. Like I don't think you're going to bench Traylon Burks.
Why would you do that to one of your better playmakers?
But what we're not talking about is missing Traylon Burks. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to go back to see his stats. 18-25, 240 yards, 1 touchdown pass. The interception was just like an arm punt on second down, just dumb. But wouldn't have done that if it were any closer of a game. But he threw for 240 yards, and Traylon Burks was not even missed.
7 different Titans caught a pass today.
Yeah.
7 different guys.
Chig for 3 for 29, Wiley 2 for 26, Tyjae Spears had 3 for 18, Derrick had the 1 for 11, and Chris Moore, NWI, and then DeAndre Hopkins being in some key spots, averaging over 15 yards a catch, and DeAndre Hopkins catched on the sideline on a beautiful throw from Tannehill is what opened this thing up because the Titans offense had yet to really get much vertically in this game or really anything. They weren't getting success in the run game until that 2nd and 10, I think it was. Maybe it was 3rd down. I think it was 3rd and long, and Tannehill hit D-Hop down the right sideline. Then the next play action, Wiley over the middle. The next play action, NWI catch and runs in the end zone, and that was the game.
For the first time in a long time, it really felt like the Titans knew what they were good at, right?
Yeah.
Like the play action just worked so well in this offense. It opens things up down the field for guys like Chris Moore, who, by the way, is averaging 33.5 yards a catch in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? Getting Chig over the middle, activating him. He wasn't super involved, but, he had 3 big catches for 29 yards.
Yeah.
It's just giving the defense different guys to think about and really not allowing them to hyper-focus on D-Hop. When you have NWI making plays all day, when you have Chris Moore making plays down the field, the tight ends got going today, then you got to shift your attention. And that's when D-Hop can really hurt you. We thought it would be a D-Hop heavy day. NWI and him each had 6 targets to lead the team, which is comforting. This offense clicked without Burks. Not that you plan to be without him for a long time, but adding him back into the fray should only help things.
I agree.
You just need to see consistency.
Yeah. So let's revisit what we I said it weird. Let's revisit what we did in the pregame show with our X Factor conversation. And I want to ask you guys, who was the X Factor? We'll kind of go through what we said our X Factors could have been and should be in this game. But let's revisit our X Factors here live on our Amanda J. Gentry postgame show from the rooftop at Acme Feed and Seed. But get your X Factor ready. We want to know from you guys, who do you think was the X Factor with our friends at X Golf Nashville. They are reinventing indoor golf in Nashville. X Golf is awesome. It is pretty. It's sweet. It is the best golf simulators in the industry right now. You can play at X Golf in Bellevue. It's a sports bar, a golf simulator bar. You can play the best courses in the world. You can play leagues. You can play games with your buddies. You can just go there for you can learn and get trained and take lessons for golf while you're at a sports bar watching football all season long. So check them out online at xgolfnashville.com for an appointment and to book a bay. So, Jack, your pregame X factor was what?
Christian Fulton and the secondary really stopping what the Bengals had outside, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and going up against a quarterback like Joe Burrow. The emphasis to me heading in was on the secondary. Christian Fulton had looked terrible coming into the game. But what does he do? He responds in a major way, keeps Jamar Chase in check. 7 of 73, 7 receptions for 73 yards for Chase. But the key today was his long was 17. That was the longest play the Bengals had on offense throughout the afternoon. It's an explosive offense that didn't make a single explosive play.
And it came with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter when the score was 27-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Fulton absolutely held his side down and did his job, which is what Mike Vrabel wanted him to do after the game last week.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think that 17-yard catch from Chase was on Sean Murphy-Bunting's side too.
Okay.
So I think
even better for Fulton.
Yeah, Christian Fulton, I thought had a much better day. He defended some passes, knocked down a couple balls at the catch point early in the game too. T. Higgins went out with a rib injury, so I'm not really sure. I don't remember seeing that happen, but he was a non-factor again. So my X factor pregame was the Titans being good on first down so they could be better on third down. Because when they lost to the Saints and the Browns, they were combined 2 of 24 on third down. When they beat the Chargers, they were way over 50% on third down. And today, 8 of 13 on third down. So I guess Christian Fulton did his job. So your X factor, you can check that box. Yep. They checked my box too. Let's go to on the X factors. Let's go to Dion says the X factor was Tim Kelly. We talked a lot about Tim Kelly a little bit earlier off top of the pregame show or the postgame show, but he was very good.
Yeah, no doubt. It's whatever it is about being at home for Tim Kelly seems to be working. Maybe it's us being at Acme, being 2-0. But, yeah, Tim Kelly had an incredible day. And he got to what he needed to. But for the most part, it was just play action, play action, play action. Boom, Henry for 12. Like, it was rhythmic. It felt like there wasn't anything that, was off script or, was timed weird. And it's easy for an offensive coordinator to look good too when you're not facing a decision on 2nd and 10, whether or not to keep the ball on the ground, which only works so many times. So Tim Kelly did a great job staying ahead of the chains on 1st and 2nd down and really mixing it up and diversifying Ryan Tannehill's offensive portfolio involving 7 different pass catchers.
Yeah, Top Tier says play action makes this team work. Jack, after the NWI touchdown, you just said out loud, you're like, good things happen when you run play action.
Hey, play action makes the world go around here in Tennessee. So I love to see them stick to that. And when it's working too, it's so encouraging just because now the defense doesn't know, okay, well, we still got to respect Henry.
Right.
But, okay, the play action's been working. We got to protect ourselves over the top. Well, if Henry breaks through that first layer like he did so often today, he's going to have huge chunks out there to get.
Yeah, Gary says Azeez Al-Shire was his X factor. I mean, I think Azeez was phenomenal.
Awesome.
He was. I'm trying to go back to the stats to kind of see what he looked like in the box score. That's never going to do Azeez justice. But 9 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups. Azeez was very active, very good. I thought he had, he was very close to a sack, but he was all over the field today. So if Azeez Al-Shire can play like that and not have a penalty like he's had a couple times early this season, I think Azeez is a really important part of the defense.
You know who else deserves a little X factor love?
Who's that?
He didn't put on pads today, but Rand Carthon. Azeez Al-Shire played well. Travis Gibson with the sack fumble. Josh Wiley with the touchdown. I mean, everything was going for the Titans. Tajay Spears had a very great day. Brunskill on the right side of that offensive line. It seemed like they had it going on.
Yeah.
So everything was working. Days like today are why we keep coming back, right?
Days like today make Rand Carthon's job a lot easier.
Exactly.
You just hold Joe Burrow and the Bengals to 3 points and you put up 27 yourself.
Well, this is exactly why we spent all offseason saying, the Titans, they've got enough to make something happen. I don't know what it will be. I don't know where their ceiling is, but they've got enough to make stuff happen. And when they're firing on all cylinders like they were today, I mean, this is just what we were talking about all off season long. They've got this in them. It's how can you pull this out from them every weekend?
Yeah, Tajay Spears had 5 carries for 40 yards. He had 3 catches for 18. So 58 total yards from Tajay Spears on 8 touches. Very impressive. And seeing where he was able to, he made a mistake, dropped the football, fumbled in the backfield, but oh no, it just made something happen. And so that's something that is exciting about Tajay Spears and what he can continue to do as he gets deeper into his rookie season. All right, so Jack, always the talk is about the quarterback. So let's get to our quarterback grades as we always do in this post-game show. How do you grade Ryan Tannehill's performance today? How do you grade Ryan Tannehill's performance today as he beat the Bengals, was a part of that win, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 240 yards in the air. But we want your letter grades for Ryan Tannehill. But first, Chim Chimney, for any of your chimney needs, that's where you should turn. Chim-Chimneyinc.com is their website. They have experience and expertise, pride themselves on extensive experience in the chimney sweeping and repair industry. Chim Chimney's team has knowledge and skills. It's been honed in over years and years, decades of service. Safety first. When they choose Chim Chimney, you're choosing safety. Services not only enhance your chimney performance, but also ensures your home remains safe from fire hazards. We're about that season, right? It's October 1st. That means it's fireplace season. So if you have Chim Chimney, come out to your house, check your chimneys, also your dryer vents, chim-chimneyinc.com. So quarterback grades. I went through Tannehill's stats. 240 yards, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception, but a big day for the quarterback as Washington scores a touchdown with 0 seconds on the clock. Ooh, man, do you go for 2? Do you kick an extra point? Anyway, quarterback grades, I'll send you to the chat.
Yes. Sean says B because of that interception in garbage time. B+ from Twiggy. A- from Dylan Cole. A- from Anthony Clay. B from Derek R. B- from Jay Thomas. A- from Billy Jones. B from Mark Leach. A+ from Stephen Harden. A from Lou Mann. B+ from JR. A- from Nick. A- from Anthony. B+ from Top Tier. B from Ken. A- from Dion. A+ from Michael Kennedy. B+ from Brad Anderson. B+ from Kendrell. A- the INT was meaningless, says Jacob People. A- says Tiffany Cockle. B+ from Justin. B+ from Reeds. B+ from Kyle. A from Kai. A from Tanya. B from Tennessee Troy. Austin.
Yeah.
How do you grade Tannehill's performance?
I think it's an A-. Like a couple comments in there were saying that they didn't care about the interception because it was a dumpster time, garbage time interception where you just kind of threw it up there to see if something had happened. But Ryan Tannehill was in a really tough spot because he got obliterated against Myles Garrett in the Browns 7 days ago, and Andre Dillard was a turnstile. Ryan Tannehill saw, I'm sure he watched Monday Night Football and saw Trey Hendrickson do the same thing that Garrett did the day before and was like, crap, because Andre Dillard's not very good.
Well, there were a couple plays.
There were a couple plays, but he was only sacked 3 times. And he only gave up 15 yards in those sacks. There was one of them that was for an 11-yard loss. Where I look at Ryan Tannehill, and he's going to get sacked this year. That's just going to be the story of this offensive line. But what Ryan Tannehill can do is get sacked for double-digit yards multiple times a game to ruin field goal range or field position in general. And so I thought Ryan Tannehill, an A- is a fair grade. He stuck in there, got hit a lot, and threw some really accurate passes and made a lot of plays. He was a half yard away at most from getting that double pass bomb to D-Hop in the first quarter to kick off this game. I thought Ryan Tannehill was very good, so an A- for me in a game that he had to be good.
Yeah, and that big sack that he did take, the Titans still are able to get 3 because Nick Folk comes out there and hits a 53-yarder. How fun is that to have a Titans kicker able to hit from 50? So you went A-, but
yes,
in the Chargers win, you had him at a B+. So you think that this was Tannehill's best game of the season?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Now, I'm trying to go back, and I don't remember the details on the Chargers win, but I felt, it was early on. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what some moments there. I thought
it was not throwing the ball away and taking that big sack on the Dodgers.
He took 5 sacks, right? There were, early on, Tannehill was not as sharp against the Chargers as he was today. Out of the gates, Ryan Tannehill was really good. and the interception be damned, whatever. But that's why I think it deserves a better spot.
Yeah,
Both massive performances, and the Titans are winning both those games when Ryan Tannehill plays B+ or higher.
I tend to agree with you that A- is the right rating. I think that's a solid grade for Ryan Tannehill today. The big plays he was able to hit. Tajay Spears, NWI, Josh Wiley, D-Hop, Semo, all of those dudes made plays down the field because Tannehill was able to drop the ball on a dime to them. I mean, there were some throws. That sliding catch that D-Hop made on a throw that got through like 4 pairs of arms. Tannehill was threading the needle today. It's an A-, would have been an A if he didn't throw that pick. I understand it was meaningless and came in garbage time, but still, I think protecting the football needs to be, number one for this Titans offense. If you protect the football, this defense is going to keep you in the game, right?
Yep.
But in order to keep a big lead like that, not let the Bengals have any, signs of life, that pick is enough for me to downgrade him from an A to an A-.
Yeah, it looks like the Rams are officially winners today over the Colts. So now the Colts, their record falls to 2-2 as well. The Colts are 0-2 at home, 2-0 on the road. I guess where the Titans play next week
in Indianapolis.
Yes,
the Rams did not make that easy either.
No, they did not. But yeah, 23 second-half points for the Colts to tie it, to force overtime before Matt Stafford with a walk-off touchdown pass in overtime to beat the Colts. So let's go ahead and discuss right now, since we're kind of talking about the Colts, because I think this is important. What does this win mean? Because this win is massive. Like, I think because it was a blowout, everybody somewhat processed the win an hour and a half ago because it was over so early. Yes. Yeah. But this is a massive victory for the Tennessee Titans, because what does this mean when when it comes to the rest of the division and getting another AFC win and what it can turn into? So we're going to dive into that, and we're going to look around the AFC South and just talk about what this win means kind of as a whole. But first, Jarett Companies, they can protect your home. And I'm going to tell you today about their plumbing and HVAC services. They are full service when it comes to HVAC and plumbing, from installations to repairs. Jarett handles it all. Skilled technicians, certified and experienced team ready to tackle any type of challenge to prevent. That's a big deal. Preventative maintenance for any HVAC or plumbing service is important. Jarett offers plans to keep your systems running smoothly year-round and a low cost. That is important as well, because a lot of times we don't need or think about your plumbing or HVAC until something goes wrong, and now you got a big bill attached to that whenever a problem happens. But find JarettCompanies.com for any of your plumbing and HVAC needs at JarettCompanies.com. So, Jack, what does this win mean to you when you're looking at the bigger picture? We kind of had the side conversation in the third, fourth quarter on what this means with the upcoming schedule and the opportunities that arise as the Colts drop one today. The Texans did win.
Yeah.
They beat Pittsburgh. But what does this win mean to you long term?
Well, it means a lot right now, right? The Titans are back 500. You've got a great chance to go to Indianapolis and beat a rookie quarterback and stack a divisional win early. But it means nothing if you go out and lose to the Colts next week. It means absolutely nothing if you lay an egg in Indianapolis. But even though we're looking around right now, talking about the AFC South and really the AFC and where the Titans kind of stand right now, I think you have to look inward more than outward. The Titans were able to beat the Bengals without NPF. He's slated to come back next week. Kyle Humphreys is getting closer. Not Kyle Humphrey. Kyle Phillips is getting closer.
Kyle Phillips, he could come off. He's eligible to come off IR after this week. We'll have to figure out if that's in the plan or not.
Some Burks will be back at some point, we hope.
Yeah.
So, they're getting some key. Skoronski will be back sometime soon, we hope. So they're getting some key guys back, and you're able to beat a Bengals team without some of those key guys in there. It's really encouraging. But, yeah, like I said, it means nothing if you go up to Indianapolis and lose next week.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of business on the road.
Right. When we were doing our season preview show, Jack, back a month ago, we were all talking about the bye week and being week 7, having the first 6 games being that difficult, loaded with AFC playoff contenders after you play the Saints. Everybody's bar was kind of 3-3. Get to the bye 3-3, and the schedule gets easier after. Things change. The Falcons are probably better than we thought the Falcons were going to be, right? The Seahawks are a toss-up game. and the Steelers have a good defense, but who knows, as Kenny Pickett got hurt today.
Yeah.
So things will change in the back half of the schedule. The Texans offense and Texans in general might be better than we thought too.
Yeah.
So things do change, but I said 2-4. If the Titans can get to the bye no worse than 2-4, I'm okay because it dropped. But I also said those 2 wins have to be AFC wins, and one of them has to be the Colts.
Yeah.
And so now you have a chance to get 3 AFC wins, with one of them being the Colts, and then you go to London against the Ravens, and you said it's basically bonus.
It's a free spot. It's
right.
You have nothing to lose because you didn't expect to be 3-2 heading to London. It's a road game. It's an opportunity to get away and really just kind of empty the gas tank before a bye week. So get that 3rd win in Indianapolis, set you up for a really nothing to lose game. And, we've seen some of the injury issues that the Ravens have on offense. No OBJ, no J.K. Dobbins, no Rashad Bateman. So that's a team that's gettable right now. But you got to take care of business in Indy. Get yourself a shot to go 4-2 before the bye week when that schedule really softens up, when some really young quarterbacks and some new quarterbacks at some new spots start coming along. So
I just
set
think
yourself up for long-term success.
It's huge too. Joe Burrow had net 139 passing yards today. Net 139. Derrick Henry ran for 122 yards. You see some of these proof of concept things that we haven't seen from this Titans team in the last 10 games before this. Because even when the win over the Chargers, that still was like, Derrick Henry was better, but the O-line still not letting him bust through. You get a 29-yard touchdown run from Henry. It goes over 100. You get some big plays from some sketching options that hadn't been really doing much. It was almost like an unlocking type of game to where now you've got confidence. Where can that take you against a Colts team that, they beat the Ravens a week ago, but Anthony Richardson's not as good. And we talked about this in the post game or the second half too. Gardner Minshew is the best way for the Colts to win a game right now, but the Colts are trying to get Anthony Richardson reps and ready. And so you have a great opportunity to really go up and get to 3-2 and above 500.
Yeah, and the Titans match up well because, you're concerned about the secondary. You're concerned about the cornerbacks. Well, Anthony Richardson hadn't been a guy that's really lit many secondaries on fire so far in his NFL career. So you feel good about that. And, whenever the Titans play a running quarterback, it seems like Shane Bowen has always schemed them properly. They're able to set the edge outside with quick guys on the edge and Harold Landry and Arden Key. So I like that matchup a whole lot for the Titans. The Colts are going to be licking their lips because, it's early in the season. If Skaronski's not back, if they're still without Burks, still without Phillips, the Titans are and the way the Titans have played, they're gettable. They've been inconsistent this year. How are you able to schedule 2 straight wins together and really start to pick up back where you left off before the Tannehill injury last season?
Yeah, get to where you were when you were 7-3 coming home from Green Bay. So I'm going to go through some more stats of this game as I'm looking. The Titans had 400 yards of offense. Cincinnati had 211. Nearly doubling up. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to say that in your face as Bengals fans walk right in front of me. But as I did double up the Bengals yards in this game here, live from Acme. Rushing yards, dominant. Time of possession, Jack. The Titans had the ball for nearly 35 minutes to the Bengals 25 minutes. And somebody mentioned, what cued me to go look at that was somebody mentioning on YouTube about the 10-minute drive coming out of the halftime break to get the field goal that was a demoralizing, ruined any hopes that the Bengals might have had in the comeback.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute and 22-second drive, the longest drive the Titans have had in 20 years, the longest drive in the NFL this season.
Right.
And that point in the game, it felt like the Titans were almost waterboarding the Bengals, right? They weren't dead, but it was just torture.
Yes.
The Bengals defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. It was penalties. It was Derrick Henry moving the football. It was big plays by wide receivers and Tannehill making timely throws and smart decisions. It just felt like they were torturing.
Yeah.
The Bengals couldn't get off the field and put that offense back on the field to begin their comeback. They never got it going.
Yes. NC Sports, our Amanda J. Gentry postgame show here live from Acme. If you're at Acme or if you're going to come down to Acme for all home games, Spirited Hive canned cocktails are $1 off during home games. And also Ranch Water has bucket specials for home games as well. You're getting some waterboarding. Man, Jack, you went hard on that one.
I mean, it was sheer torture.
Yeah.
The Bengals could do nothing to stop it. They were helpless.
Yes, they were helpless. All right, so let's go ahead as the crowd is getting picked up here. Nissan Stadium's been empty for about 2 hours here live at Acme. So, Jack, let's go ahead and talk about the winning formula. Friday night, I went to Adventure Science Center because I went to the Science of Spirits that I've been telling you guys about on this post-game show for weeks now. I went, and it was awesome. Adventure Science Center, Adventure SCI. Sometimes they've got their 21 and up events. My wife and I took advantage of that. That was a lot of fun, going and finding different cocktails and the difference of science and alcohol and how to create fire. Jack, I know how to create 4 different colors of fire because I went to Adventure Science Center on Friday night. So AdventureSCI.com, AdventureSCI.org, for all of your fun for the entire family, even for the adults. So go check them out, AdventureSCI.org for the Adventure Science Center. The winning formula is pretty key for Mike Vrabel. You run for more yards. The Titans went 173-72.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Check.
You have a better quarterback rating. Ryan Tannehill by far had the better quarterback rating today. 98 to Joe Burrow's 80. Those 2 boxes checked. The turnover battle, even 1-1, but the turnover that Tannehill had didn't have anything to do with the result of the game. Neither did Burrow. So that was kind of a closeout, an even out, washes out. But the Titans were able to do what Mike Vrabel wants, control the clock with the run, and have efficient quarterback play, and they win the game. The winning formula seems to be undefeated.
It is. And those are 3 big things the Titans were able to get done today. It just feels so refreshing. And it's almost just like the fan base was able to take a deep exhale today because we saw Ryan Tannehill play great against the Bengals team, which he's historically struggled against.
Yep.
So that's another big mental hurdle the Titans were able to reach today with this big win.
A lot of noise here at Acme. So say that a new crowd just came up the elevator. So I think, hey, we're going to have some fun up here at Acme. If you are leaving Nissan Stadium or maybe next time for any Titans games, come down here at Acme on the rooftop. Once again, thanks to all of our great partners for Titan Game Day Live. This is the Amanda J. Gentry postgame show. Always thanks a lot to Amanda J. Gentry and what she does. X-Golf Nashville, the Mint Gaming Hall, Chim Chimney, Adventure Science Center, and Jarett Companies. Also, every home game, Spirited Hurricane cocktails are $1 off, and Ranch Water has bucket specials. I think bucket specials are what a lot of these people need up here.
Oh, yeah.
And Titans jerseys after a big win. The next home game, Jack, I thought of something. Because I see a Hopkins, I see a Burks, and I see a Stonehouse throwback Oilers unis. The next time we're going to be at Acme is for the Atlanta Falcons game when the Oilers throwbacks are out. So that's what I'm pumped for. But anyway, we'll be very active. So follow us on social media. We're always here for Titan Game Day Live. Coming up next week will be Jack and Sam for the Titans at the Colts. Buck Rising will be live tonight for A to Z Sports Primetime. Me and Zach Bingham will be live tomorrow morning for A to Z Sports Morning Show. Have a great rest of your Sunday. The Titans are 2-2 after dominating the Bengals 27-3. Enjoy your Sunday.